Welcome back to Right Now Trending TV. Before we get started, I'd like to thank you all for reaching almost 400 subscribers. We are now growing more and more each day, and I kindly ask you to please subscribe again to the channel and click the notification bell for more videos. Again, thank you everybody who's already subscribed to the channel. Now, let's get started. So I'm so glad you're here today because we're diving deep into some more messy Jersey drama as usual. New Jersey is like the gift that keeps on giving. Every time you think it's done, boom, another story pops up. So grab your coffee or something stronger, get comfy, and let's get into it. So first things first, have you heard the latest about Giudice reacting to Louie Realis's comments? If you haven't, buckle up because this one's a doozy. Louie, Teresa's crazy husband, made some, let's just say, questionable comments about Joe's daughters, and people are not happy. I mean, we're talking about thongs, short skirts, and a whole lot of discomfort. Did you hear what he said? Would you ever expect something like this? Let's break it down together. So here's the scoop. Louie was on Teresa's podcast, and he started talking about how Joe and Teresa's daughters, yes, the Giudice girls, should try it all. We're talking about going to the club, wearing a thong, short skirts, the whole shebang, if you will. Excuse me, is anyone else cringing right now? Because I am. Louie even reminisced about a trip they all took to Greece where he encouraged the girls to wear thongs. He thought they looked amazing, but let's be real, this just doesn't sit right. And it's not just me who's raising an eyebrow. As soon as this clip hit Instagram, fans were up in arms. People are calling Louie creepy, inappropriate, and even suggesting that Joe Giudice should step in. I, for one, almost looked up Joe Giudice's number. My God. I mean, if you were Joe, how would you react? It's one thing to have opinions, but when it comes to someone else's daughters, especially your wife's ex-husband's kids, maybe keep those thoughts to yourself, Louie. But here's where it gets really interesting. Joe Giudice finally responded, and his reaction might surprise you. He didn't go all in on Louie like you might expect. Instead, Joe said Louie comes off pretty weird, but added that he's actually not a bad person. Hold on, because I just threw up in my mouth a little bit. Say what, Juicy Joe? Are you out of your damn mind, buddy? No way Louie would have gotten off that easy if he was talking about my child. He would have gotten a good tongue lashing from me with some colorful language. I'm just appalled. I can't believe Joe Giudice would even react that way. I thought he would be pissed off. So, I was expecting some major fireworks, but Joe seems to be playing it cool. He even mentioned that he's met Louie a few times and that Louie is not a bad person and he's not as bad as people are making him out to be. So what do you think? Is Joe being too forgiving or is he just trying to keep the peace? I think the reason why Joe reacted this way is because when Louie got that backlash, he probably called Joe Giudice immediately and started apologizing profusely, saying that stating that he didn't mean anything by it. He loves the girls and this was a very innocent conversation. So before Joe can blow up, he tried to smooth things over. That's my opinion. So I don't know if he did that or not, but I bet you something to that effect went on and went down. Now, let's talk about that podcast episode because it mysteriously disappeared. Yep, after the backlash, the part where Louie made those comments got edited out. Sneaky. But thanks to the internet, nothing ever really goes away, and people are still talking about it. So what do you think? Was it a smart move to remove it, or does it make the whole thing look even more suspicious? I think both of these are true. I think it was very smart to remove it, and it does look suspicious. Teresa, she just wants people to see him in a good light. She's always trying to sell him to us. He's not good, in my opinion. Now, speaking of drama, we've got Rachael Fuda chiming in too. She's opening up about her time on New Jersey and how Louie's presence has affected the show. And she's not holding back. She's calling out the toxicity and even hinting that Teresa's podcast exists just to clean up Louie's messes. I believe that. Do you agree with Rachel, or do you think she's just adding fuel to the fire? I believe everything Rachel said, because a lot of the times when I'm looking at her podcast, she's trying to defend him or make excuses for his flubs, if you will. Rachel also has some thoughts on Teresa defending Louis's past comments about Margaret Joseph's son. She wishes Teresa would self-reflect more and maybe even admit when Louie is wrong. Can you imagine the tension between these ladies? Honestly, I'm all for the people standing by their partners, but when do you think loyalty goes too far? Should Teresa really be defending everything Louie says? No, because it doesn't help him grow, and it doesn't help him to not make the same mistakes again. And can we talk about the relationships for a minute? Rachel mentioned how communication is key, which it is. But let's be real. How many times have you felt like your partner just isn't listening? I know I've been there. It's like you're talking, but they're hearing something completely different. So what's your go-to move when this happens? Do you let it slide or do you call them out? I'd love to know how you handle these situations, because trust me, we have all been there. So, what do you think of Juicy Joe's response to Louie? Do you think he's being too chill, or is he just trying to keep things civil for the sake of his daughters? I think that's probably what he's trying to do. And what about Rachael Fuda's take on everything? Do you agree with her, or do you think she's stirring the pot? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because I'm dying to know what you think. All right, that's all I've got for today, but I'll be back soon with more Jersey drama, because let's be honest, this show never sleeps. Now, if you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any updates, and hit that notification bell so you're the first to know when there's more tea to spill. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and I'll catch you next time. Ciao, everyone.